Welcome to the Sound Like Us podcast, where we get the bedroom rock stars out of the bedroom, out into the world to hopefully get them the recognition they deserve. During the interview, we get to know an artist by asking them about how important music is to them, from how their early life shaped the musician they became, to live music, to their first foray into writing and producing music, and what they have planned for the future. Please like, follow, share and subscribe in all the usual places, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Instagram, YouTube, etc. A big thank you to everyone that has done so already. Please spread the word far and wide to your friends, family and even that annoying prick you sit next to at work. If you like the podcast, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform that you use, as this helps give the algorithm a big old slap in the chops and gets these musicians even more of the exposure they deserve. If you're a musician, singer-songwriter, rapper, producer, DJ, MC, or even, God forbid, a drummer, and you fancy joining me on the podcast, please don't hesitate to get in touch and we will get you on. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Sounds Like Us podcast and to today's guest, Portuguese-born and London-based singer-songwriter Logan J Parker. Logan, good afternoon and welcome to Sounds Like Us.
Hi, Martin. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. The pleasure's all mine on this beautiful day. Right. So maybe you can start by having you telling us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a musician. I'm originally from Portugal, Lisbon, and I moved to the UK almost 10 years ago. I'm also British, and I think my music is a blend of all the influences that I've had in my life. I love 70s rock and roll, and I think it's just great to listen to music that's heartfelt. So that's what I try and do with my music.
Oh, good. So how did the music your parents listened to have an influence on you while growing up?
Yeah, so my parents, they listen to a lot of rock and roll. My dad loves British rock and roll, Queen, Dire Straits, Pink Floyd, The Who. So I think I was very influenced by him. And my mom, she really loves like Tennessee music, Delta blues, and lots of soul, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. So I think I was very lucky to grow up in a household where my parents played vinyl constantly, and really amazing. So Bob Dylan as well, and great singer-songwriters. And I think that really influenced me. It made me fall in love with music.
That's quite an eclectic musical background to be growing up to, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Were there any artists when you were growing up that had a lasting impression on you?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I really loved listening to Norah Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think she was brilliant. I remember my older sister, she bought Come Away With Me, her debut album. And I remember stealing this record from my sister and just listening to it on repeat, and falling in love with all the songs and reading the lyric sheets. And I think that record really shaped me as a musician. And I think I was really young even to understand the lyrics and the meaning of the songs. But I think all that nostalgia and the sound of the drums and the bass and her vocals really appealed to me. And I think that's a great record.
Yeah, she definitely had the whole package. When the album came out, it was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She didn't move for it. Can you share how your background in Lisbon and Edinburgh in Portugal, what effect did that have on you while growing up?
So basically, I used to be like a surfer girl, and I graduated in economics by Lisbon School of Economics, and I started working in a bank, working in finance, and realized that I was very unhappy in my job. Everyone was treated like numbers. Finance, you just worry about money, making money, don't really care much about people. And that was something that really shocked me, after graduating and being a student and then joining the workforce and realizing the harsh reality of how things are done. And then I was working a lot and overworking. And one day I just collapsed in the bank, and I was diagnosed firstly with leukemia. But then it turned out to be just a very chronic anemia. I was quite unhappy. I was a bit depressed and I wasn't eating properly. And then I had to stop and get a treatment. And fix myself. And I remember my mom telling me, "Oh, you should leave this job and just maybe become a musician because you really love, playing music, and just work on your songs and take a little break from work and just focus on your well-being." And that's what I did. And then I moved to the UK and I formed a band, and things are going very well.
Yeah.
That's my story.
So it took quite a horrible health scare to happen for you to take the brave step to start living your dream.
Yeah. I remember I was very young, so I was in my early 20s, and I was sitting down at the doctor's office, and she was very straightforward with me, and then, I don't know, it felt cruel in my opinion, but it was a big wake up call for me. And when you see that your health isn't good and that you are struggling, and that's when you truly realize what's important in your life. And I think that made me realize that working in finance wasn't making me happy, and that I needed to pursue something that was a little bit more meaningful for me.
Yeah, and people that work in finance, they do long hours, and it's in front of a computer and stuck in an office. It can be really unhealthy. So, people need to understand the effects it can have on their health. How are you now, anyway?
Yes, I'm fully recovered.
Good.
And happy as Larry, making music and working with amazing women.
Yeah.
I have an all-female girl band. We were recently on BBC One, BBC Radio London, and that was amazing. I was on BBC Radio 2 with Robert Helms, and he's one of my
Robert
idols.
Helms?
All is going well.
Was that Robert Helms on BBC London?
Yeah,
I
BBC
love
Radio
that man.
2.
I love
he's
that
great.
man.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
I listen to him every show that he does. I'm listening. I used to listen 6 days a week, but it's only 3 now. But yeah, he's fantastic. And I was watching your show you did on BBC Sunday Live, I think it was.
Yeah,
that was good. That was really great.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
Have you done many live shows, like live TV kind of thing?
Yeah, so before I moved to the UK, I did a lot of TV and radio. I had a big Portuguese label who wanted to sign me, but then I opted not to. It seemed like a very lengthy contract, and it kind of scared me a little bit. And I was like, maybe not. I'm just gonna fly over to London and see how things go. I think being a songwriter requires you to be free and true to yourself. And when you start having people asking you to change things and get involved into the songwriting, I was not ready to give up my control at the time. And I'm happy I chose to fly solo and to discover my sound.
Yeah.
First of all, before people come and change it completely. I think it's very special to me, especially for all the things I endured. And the health scare was a big part of it. And I think it means so much. Giving up a safe career in finance, you really want to give it a good try, and you want to make something that you feel proud of. And I think that's what I did.
You've certainly done that. Were there local music scenes or traditions back in Portugal that have influenced you?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I feel like Portuguese music, fado is very sentimental. It's quite sad and mellow.
Yes,
which is quite beautiful, but it's not truly one of those. I don't really listen to fado. My parents like fado, especially my dad. But it's not really my thing. I love it. I think it's beautiful, but I don't think it's in my music. I'm really much more of like a 70s rock and roll kind of girl.
Yeah.
I love Creedence Clearwater Revival. I love a bit of Elvis Presley. I love all that Americana, and I also love the amazing British bands, Queen, Dire Straits, Pink Floyd, The Who, and I think there's so much there. So I feel like the reason why I came to London is because I really love these bands and I feel influenced by them.
Yeah, oh, good. Yeah, there's a lot of great bands out there, and I guess that Portuguese fado, it's quite, like you say, melancholic. I think they called it saudade. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. See,
saudade.
I know some words.
You do. Well done.
So yeah, I guess you wanted to sort of break out from that, and your music's very bright, I find.
Thank you.
So when you went through that health scare, did you sort of, even in your darkest times, did you find that music helps you through?
Oh yeah. I think music is it's my medicine. It's my therapy. It makes me happy and it makes me feel alive and it gives purpose to my existence. It's a very tough career. It's tough to be taken seriously. And especially as a woman in music, sometimes people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Women are very sensitive creatures and they're very true to their emotions. And I think sometimes that can be a little bit of a handicap because they don't know how to nurture that and actually support that and empower that. But I think things are changing, and I really want to change the music industry and how women are perceived.
Yeah.
And currently, you see like all these solo artists like Sabrina Carpenter and other artists who are making waves. But, for me as a woman, I feel like the music is much more important than the looks. And I feel like it would be so cool if you had a female singer-songwriter who was like top of the charts, but she didn't have to wear a bodysuit and she was wearing like a full outfit and it was amazing. And that her songs and her lyrics and her power and her guitar skills were unmatched and they were appreciated. And I think that's what I want to do as a musician. I want people to look and hear what's truly there, what's the essence, which is music and art.
Yeah, it's a strange dichotomy because men don't have to go through that kind of thing in any industry, really. We don't have to care about what we look like. It's clear that some fellas don't care about what they look like. But I guess in your industry, there's more of a spotlight and things like that. When essentially at the end of the day, what matters is the substance of the music.
Yeah. I think sexual freedom was so important in the 70s, 80s, but nowadays we feel like sexualization of women is kind of the norm. And women say, oh, but I feel empowered to do this. But I say, I wish art was not connected to any sexuality because at the end of the day, for me, sexuality is important. It's important to be confident in what you are. But I feel the words, the song, the story, that's the most important thing. That is what you should fight for. The poetry that will last through time. The songs, the melody, the arrangement. That's what motivates me.
And that's what you're going to be singing in the car, in the front of the mirror, in the bathroom and stuff. So that's what's, like you say, that's what lasts for the lifetime.
Yeah.
You recorded your debut EP in a solar-powered studio. Has the environment always been an important cause for you?
Oh, yeah. Ever since I was a little girl, and because I was a surfer girl back home, and I think when you enjoy nature so much and you live by the beach, and then you see people like throwing rubbish on the beach, and you get together with your mates, and you go and clean the beach, and you grab and you do something to help the planet, and when you're out there in the ocean amongst the waves, you feel like it's so pure and beautiful. It needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of shaped me as a surfer girl, as a young girl surfing and seeing how important nature is and how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And I think I like to incorporate that into my artistry. And when I moved to the UK, I started working in a recording studio.
Yeah.
The Premises Studios in Hackney, and they're fully solar powered, and they're like the first studio in the whole world to be completely 100% solar powered.
Wow.
And I found that amazing. It was such a great coincidence. And I started recording my songs there. And it's just incredible. I think London has so much to offer.
Yeah.
And we hear so many people saying like, London's such a horrible place to live and so expensive. There's also such a great bright side to London that is so rich and beautiful for the arts.
Yeah, there's a lot of very creative people here. There's a lot of people that want to make a difference, building a solar powered studio, for instance. That's, having the wherewithal to do that and say, no, I'm going to do something that makes a real difference, makes a real change. There's a place not far from where I live down in Sutton in southwest London called the Sound Lounge. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Played a gig very recently.
Oh, have you? Oh, wow. So
yeah.
You know all about the sort of sustainability they go through there. Everything's, all the food's plant-based. They care properly about the environment there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great. We had an amazing time performing.
Yeah, I need to get down there. I went down there once to have a chat with someone, Danny Wilson, who's been on the podcast before. Amazing record store in there, by the way.
Yeah,
you should check it out.
It's great. I love it. It's got all the ingredients.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a specific piece of music that takes you back to another time with, memories and...
Of my own music or someone else's music?
Absolutely anything.
Yeah. So let me think. I remember being a kid and then my dad playing Dire Straits' Walk of Life on the way to the beach. And I was very little. I was probably like 5 years old. I think that's 4 years old, maybe one of my earliest memories. And that song is so energetic and pungent. And we were so excited to go to the beach with dad, mom and dad and my siblings. And that's a really happy memory. Every time I listen to that song, it brings me back to that moment, to that drive to the beach.
Yeah. I mean, if I live where you grew up, I'll definitely remember something like that. So what is it like in Ericeira? It's like a surf place, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the first world surf resort. And it's beautiful. I recommend to anyone who loves the beach and loves surfing. It's pure and beautiful. People are very welcoming. The food is great. Good. And it's just utterly beautiful. And it's only like half an hour drive away from Lisbon, the capital.
Right. Okay.
So I truly recommend. It's beautiful.
We'll definitely take a little break there one day. I will get the wife and kids and say, we're going to go to Ericeira. We're going to have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Who would you say are your main influences?
So I think we already went through quite a few. More recently, I fell in love with this band called the Teskey Brothers. They are an Australian band. They're brilliant. I love them. They have that kind of like soulful R&B with a touch of like old school rock and roll, and it's great. I love Kaleo. They're a band from Iceland, and the lead vocalist, he has one of the most beautiful voices that I've ever heard in modern day. He's brilliant. The songs are great as well. And who else? I love Amy Winehouse. Unfortunately, she's no longer amongst us, but she was an amazing artist with a strong personality. And she was brilliant with an amazing voice and great songs and a great band. And I love that. So I think those are our most recent, I would say, references.
Do you go through a process to work those influences into your music, or is it more organic?
Yeah, music for me is very like, it's kind of like a cathartic sort of process, and it's therapeutical as well, and it helps me get rid of problems and heartache, and it's unpredictable, and it just comes out of the blue. I don't really sit down and force myself to write. It just comes in naturally, and I like it that way. It's quite wild and unpredictable, but I really like that, and I think it's a spontaneous sort of thing, and I always want to maintain that spontaneity in my music. I think it makes it unique, and it's hard to describe.
The way it comes out is the way it's supposed to be.
Could you please repeat the question?
So the way the music comes out is the way it's supposed to be.
I'd say so. Yeah. So I went through like a process in lockdown, and I built my own home studio here in my spare bedroom. Got my guitars down there, and I learned how to play the bass and the ukulele and the piano, and I've learned how to use Logic to record my demos and to program drums, and kind of get into that like sort of like producer's hat and produce everything. That's so cool. It's quite of an interesting process. So you write the song. Usually I write it on guitar or piano or even ukulele, and then you add all those layers and you think about how do I want it to sound, and it's an amazing thing. I love doing it. I would do it all day. It's great. Sometimes I sit for hours and I feel so tired, but I can't stop because the inspiration is flowing, and it's a great moment.
Yeah, you can't stop when the inspiration's coming out.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a random question for you. If you could take anybody to any concert in history by any artist, A, who would you take? What gig would it be? And why would you take that person to see that artist?
So if I could take anyone in the world to go see another band, an artist,
Yep.
who would it be?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's a great question. Very unique. Let me think. Let me see. I'd like to maybe invite Bono, the Irish
U2, yeah.
musician from U2. Go see the Rolling Stones. I think that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. I think he would be able to get you a backstage pass there. I think he's
Yeah,
seen them
for sure.
probably once or twice. That would be cool.
Maybe.
That would be very cool. Can you remember what the first song or piece of music you ever wrote was?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. The first ever song that I wrote in English was "The Moon Is Calling Your Name," and it's a single I released last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 17, 18. It was one of the very first songs that I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you want to go and have a listen, it doesn't sound so bad.
Okay, we'll definitely check it out. What was it called again?
It's called "The Moon Is Calling Your Name."
The Moon Is Calling Your Name. So you founded your own record label. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've got a label called J Parker Records, and it's where I release everything independently. I'm an independent, self-made artist.
Yeah.
And I have an all-female girl band, which I have ready for a tour, and we have to work on that. We have to get some dates and schedule. We have an amazing show booked for the Black Deer Festival in the city in October 26th. I hope to see you there.
Definitely.
With your family. So I can meet your Brazilian wife.
Yeah.
And we can speak a little bit of Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I do everything independently. And to be honest with you, Martin, I think there's not many people investing in artists anymore. They're waiting for you to do all the job, everything, and get the numbers and Spotify and the followers and get viral. And maybe then they will want to work with you, but then you don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Things have changed so fast, and there's no longer record labels nurturing artists, supporting them so that they can have space and money to really sit down and write music. And all of us, we have to have a day job, and then on the side, spend many sleepless nights trying to record and work on the videos, do social media. So it's really complicated. And I think people do it because they truly love it. And that's a great thing. But there's people out there who just do it for the money, and the labels, they just push, and they try to copy what's working. And there's not really tastemakers anymore.
No.
So it's incredibly hard, but I feel like when you are an artist, you have to get yourself out there and do all the podcasts and do all the gigs, because eventually people are going to notice and they're going to appreciate you. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you say, the way things are at the minute, you have to put in the hard yards before anyone sits up to take notice.
Yeah. It's a very cynical universe.
It is very cynical. Do you remember the first concert you ever went to?
First concert. I remember I was a kid, and it was in my town. And it was a Portuguese group.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably 5, 6, something like that. And they were singing like traditional Portuguese music, not fado, but like a little bit like upbeat with accordions and violins. And I remember listening to them. There were like 8 guys on stage, and I was, those kids that go in the front of the stage, they start dancing to the music. That was me.
Yeah.
Enjoying myself at my first gig. I loved it.
Yeah, cool. So what kind of music do they call that? Is it kind of like a Portuguese folk kind of music, or?
Yeah. It's like folky, traditional Portuguese music. And sometimes they kind of like improvise it in the moment, and they start rhyming, and then they compete between each other. And it's kind of like funny, and they make fun of each other in their lyrics, and it's very upbeat. There's accordion, violins, guitars, and it's great. It's completely the opposite of Fado. It's very energetic and
sounds
it's
cool.
folky. I love it.
Right. What was the first performance you ever did live? Where was it?
Yeah, I remember it. It was terrible. I was 18, and I remember being a very shy teenager. And then my mom, she thought that I was talented, and I was like, no, I just want to play music for myself in my bedroom. And she was like, no, you have to get yourself out there. You're so pretty, and your songs are great, and you're learning so fast. I'm gonna get you gigs. And my mom can be very persuasive, so she just went out and she booked me a few gigs in my hometown.
Okay.
I remember the first one. She kind of like walked me through the rehearsals. She helped me pick the set list. I had the set list. She wrote like post-its where I should interact with the public and say, hi, my name is Logan. Da, 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 da. And then I remember I went there and I froze. It was a pub and it was filled with people and everyone was looking at me and my hands were shaking and I felt so nervous and I couldn't face people. I couldn't look at them because I felt so uncomfortable. Because I felt I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
And then I just played to myself very quietly, and I never faced the crowd. I never introduced myself. I didn't greet them. And at the end of the gig, my mom came to me and was like, that was terrible. You can do so much better. And I remember crying, saying, Mom, I don't want to do this. Please just leave me alone. But she insisted and insisted.
Mothers, hey? Always pushing us. Always pushing us. My mum never did that. She said, you're going to be a doctor or, I don't know, something like a proper job like a teacher or something. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be an astronaut. Come on, believe in me. Or a footballer, something like that. But here I am.
Sounds great. You were the ambitious one.
Yeah, you've got to start high and then fall low. And then
I like that mentality.
To be fair, the first thing I ever wanted to do was to become a train driver. And that is what I do for a living now. So
wow.
I've achieved my dreams.
Well done. Yay.
Of sorts.
What trains do you drive?
I work for Southern, so from Victoria, London Bridge, and we go south down to Brighton and places like that. We do the suburban.
That's amazing. I never met a train driver.
Nah, well, I like to break down barriers, and here I am.
Well done.
Yeah. So looking back, what would you say is your finest live performance?
Finest live performance. I really like the one in the Sound Lounge in Sutton. I actually filmed the show and I have the recording.
Okay.
So I'm going to be posting that soon on Instagram and YouTube. That was amazing. That was a great show. We were promoting my latest single, The Game, which is an anti-war single advocating for peace. So yeah, I got to play that song live and I felt how strong it was and how powerful, and people were singing along. Yeah. And it's amazing when like a peaceful song that is kind of like tangy and it has a lot of rhythm, but it has like a peaceful lyrics. There's no violence. There's no evil. Yeah. There's only peace, and people really like it. And it's amazing when you get to play them live and see people responding.
Especially the way things are now, what's going on in the Middle East. It's an important message.
Yeah.
So it's good that people are getting over to people. Is there a particular venue that stands out to you as a favorite place to perform?
Well, we love performing in Newquay in Cornwall.
Yeah.
It was amazing to connect with our audience there and make new fans as well and friends. And it was great. We played in the Little Orchard Cider Festival last year, and it was amazing. It was one of the greatest places to perform. The sound was incredible. We had hundreds of people in front of us, and it was great. But I think as an ambitious musician who wants to connect with people, most of all, we're always thinking about the next show and the next place. I'd love to play a big show in the Jazz Cafe in Camden. I think that's one of my
It's a beautiful
lists
venue
that I still need to cross. Here's the positive thoughts for the future.
It's a great venue. I went there a few years ago. Yeah, it's an amazing place. They've recently redone it. So yeah, that'd be amazing. That would. Right.
That'd be brilliant.
Random question number 2. If you could save 5 albums by other artists from a burning building, which 5 are you going to choose?
Oh, wow. Okay. So first one, I would save Screaming Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You.
Okay.
It's a great record. I would save Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
Yeah.
I would say Creedence Clearwater Revival. All these albums, all their albums, if I could.
Put them into one.
Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Love Me Tender. How many have I saved so far? Quite a few.
I think that's 4.
4. Maybe one last one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd save Norah Jones. Come Away With Me.
Yeah, that's good choices. Good choices.
Yeah.
Right, that's it for the random questions. So no more curveballs.
No more traps.
Yeah. What is your favorite all-time song of yours to play live?
Well, I really like Walking Alone. It's a song about struggle. I think when I wrote it, I was very sick.
Yeah.
And it's about that lonely journey with ourselves that we go through life and the obstacles that we face. So when I play it live, I feel people really relate to it and they sing along as well. It's a very catchy song, Walking Alone. So every time I play it live, people always sing along. And so I love that moment of connection between the audience and us musicians. It's one of my favorite songs to perform.
That's always good. What are your earliest memories of recording?
Well, I recorded an album back home in Portugal before I came here to the UK. And I remember everything was new and I felt very nervous to be in the studio with the band. And I didn't know anything about mixing. So when you don't know, you feel like you're in the dark and you feel very nervous because you don't know. I think it helps knowing the stages of it, recording, mixing, mastering. So I was very, very, very young and naive. And I didn't really have the knowledge to be more in control of the production. So I think with age, you kind of learn how to do things. And then you kind of like, hold on a minute. No, I can be in control and I can be the boss. Yeah. And I think the more you know, the better you get.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah.
So which programs do you use? You were saying you use Logic earlier on. Do you still stick with that?
Yeah.
Or?
Oh, yeah. Logic is my go-to.
Okay,
it's great.
I also read that you're obviously pretty big on women's empowerment in music. Was there anything specific that inspired you to get behind that?
Yeah. This is like, I don't really often talk about this. It's kind of like it used to be embarrassing for me, but not anymore. When I was very young woman in Portugal and was recording my album, I started sending to labels and agents and all that. And then I had a few meetings, but one of them stood out for the wrong reasons because I was very happy. I brought my laptop to meet this guy and it was a big, big, big Portuguese agent who took the Portuguese artists on tours, international tours. And he was like the biggest guy. And he sat me down. I was like, yeah, you sound great. But, if you work with me, you're going to be away from home for long periods of time. And it's normal that you get involved with the people you work with. And I didn't really understand. I was like, sorry, what do you mean? It's like, well, you're going to feel lonely. And it's normal that you just get involved with the people romantically, with the people you work with. Because after all, you go months on end being away from all your loved ones.
Yeah.
And that really that really struck a string in me, made me feel very angry. And I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. So I'm an economist. I could work in a bank. I could go work in the States or in London and stay away from my family. But it doesn't mean that I would sleep with the people I work with, especially because that's not very professional.
No, it's not.
So why, as a musician, do you think musicians need to sleep around with the people they work with? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it was like, oh, yes, clearly you're not ready for this. And that really made me very angry and made me see this really sad reality that female musicians, they encounter. Because it's not just about being talented, but being pretty and being intelligent and knowing what you want. It's sometimes you have to sell your soul to the devil to be able to be taken on board and taken seriously. And I wasn't willing to do that.
Yeah.
And then that's what made me come to London, try and find a fair opportunity where I was taken seriously and was respected, I deserve to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that made me fight for women's rights and made me form a female band.
Yeah.
Because I feel like men sometimes everything is easy for them, and because they've been doing this much longer than we have, and for us it's harder. We have to prove ourselves. We have to really show that we are intelligent. I can do this. Like, don't just see my face and see that I'm pretty and assume that I'm stupid, because that's not the case. And then I prefer to work with women because we just feel comfortable, and there's not that weird vibe or those weird comments that throw you off and make you sad.
Yeah. When you came to London, how was it dealing with people then? Did you find any people like this Portuguese guy? Was there anyone like that? Hopefully not. Obviously.
No, actually, I never found like dodgy people like that, which is really good, and which is what made me stay for 9 years, going up to 10 years living in the UK. But yeah, I feel like I felt supported and I felt taken seriously, and I felt that I was being judged not by just how I look or where I come from, but I was being judged by what I bring to the table. And if I'm good, I get opportunities like I got on BBC and everything. And they judged me for my music. And that really means so much, you know?
Yeah, that is, it's so important that people feel valued equally, especially in the music industry. You know, the things we found out in recent years that people have been up to in the film industry and even TV, it's just not, it's disgusting. It's just not good enough.
No.
Is there a track of yours that carries a deep personal meaning for you?
All of my songs, they are a part of me. They are very special to me. I gave up so much of myself. I gave up my country, my family, and everyone is back home. I gave up like the sunshine, the beach, surfing, food, to embrace this big, huge challenge. Sometimes I feel, you know, there's moments where I feel, well, I don't think I am up for this challenge and I want to quit. But then something comes and lifts me up back again, and I'm back on my feet, back on the fight. But all the songs, they have a meaning, they have a story, they come from my experience, they are heartfelt. So I can't really point one. I think they're all very, very special.
They all mean something different, don't they?
Could you please repeat that?
Sorry, yeah, I said all of the songs, they mean something different, but they kind of make the whole picture, kind of.
Yeah, they do.
So how was the move from Portugal to London? Did you find it difficult?
Well, you know, it was just a challenge. I was like, let's just go. I booked like a one-way ticket, and I just came over here, and see, I got a job the next day, and in a coffee shop, and then that's how it started. And then I just stayed for all this time. Sometimes you have to get yourself out of your comfort zone and go meet people, and especially if you're a musician, you have to get out in the world and be inspired for different cultures, different people, and just let that enrich your soul.
Yeah, sometimes you've just got to say, fuck it, I'm just going to do it, and then just see where it takes me. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
And is taking you to be on a podcast with somebody from Croydon. So
Yeah, it's incredible.
I know the world's your oyster. Can you think of a piece of music that has had a major impact on you from when you were quite young and you've carried it forward and up until now?
A piece of music. Well, something that stuck with me. It's hard because as we started the conversation, my parents were playing so many records and we had so much vinyl at home. It's hard to really point out one.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, being a student and going to school and listening to Ray Charles a lot. And I just fell in love with that nostalgia and the romance and his voice and the piano. So yeah, Ray Charles was a huge music friend that I would just like pick up the vinyl and play it, and it would just cheer me up.
Yeah, everybody loves Ray Charles. I think he was on my mum and dad's radio 3 or 4 times a day. Amazing.
Yeah.
What is one of your most memorable moments from a live show? Whether that's like a crowd reaction, a funny moment that's happened, a moment of personal connection. Is there anything you can think of?
Let me think. All shows are important, even the ones that sometimes you don't really want to play. Especially when you're starting, you have to play shows that you don't want to play. Yeah. You have to play songs that you don't want to play, covers mostly. But yeah, people are always very welcoming and they like the music. Some people sometimes can be a little bit disrespectful and it's a bit sad. But as a musician, you have a guitar and a microphone, and you can always stir it the right way and take it to a nice place again. Yeah. But yeah, good memory on stage. I have so many people, especially off stage, when I finish my performance and people come to me and they hold my hand and they say, I love this. I love your songs. And this was such an amazing thing. And they refer to a song like, Walking Alone is the story of my life. I also was in a very difficult place, and they relate to the songs. And I think that's it for me. I really like this moment of connection with people because I think as a musician, you write for people. You write for yourself, but then you want to share that with people. Yeah. And when you see that is understood and that is, part of their lives as well, that's the greatest reward.
Definitely. So you play with an all female group. Do you want to talk us through your members? Do you want to give them a bit of a shout out?
Yeah. So we're a lovely bunch, 8 women. Our latest show we played in Spitalfields all together as an 8-piece, and it was a street show. It was the 300-year anniversary of Spitalfields in East London. That was brilliant. Cool. We had such an amazing time, and it was great to just play outdoors. But they are great. And the thing that they need the most is I need to provide them with gigs because I do everything as an independent. I record the music, I do the videos, and I book the shows and I send the emails. So it's a lot. Yeah. But I know how talented they are, and I know they all struggle individually, and I feel responsible for them. And sometimes imagine we have to do a couple like promotion gigs, or we go to the BBC, or we do something, and everything is not paid. And then we all have bills and we all have rents, and it's very difficult. So I really want to provide them with a good structure where they feel supported, and where I say, well, we have all these shows and this is how much you're going to be paid, and it's fair, and your transport is covered, and you can do what you love, and we can do what we love and be paid for and survive. So that is my goal to them, and that is my commitment to them.
Yeah, definitely. So what are their names?
Their names are, so at the moment we are drumless. So I'm looking for a drummer. Our drummer, she was very, very burnt out and she had to step down. So there is a vacancy. If anyone is listening, if there is a girl drummer out there, or a trans drummer, or anyone who identifies as a woman, we are open to hear from you. My bassist, her name's Ellie, and she's very, very talented. Yeah. And then we have, I have 2 keyboard players. I have Carolina and also Sada. Cool. And they are amazing. Yeah. And then I have the brass section. We have Letty on trumpet, and we have Alex on saxophone. And we have the amazing Lars on violin and backing vocals. And then I have Marina as my backing vocalist, and Victoria as well on BVs as well. Okay. And they are so sweet and beautiful, and they deserve the world.
Yeah, definitely. How long have you been performing as an 8-piece then?
Well, it's been a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really cool. So yeah, anyone that's listening and wants to play a bit of drums, please give Logan a shout, and we'll look forward to seeing you play live soon.
Yay! Thank you.
That's okay. Are there any other bands or artists you've enjoyed playing with or seeing live on the local scenes, either in Portugal or here in London?
Yeah. So I'm going to a show tonight. Vincent Davis. Okay. He's an amazing songwriter, a London-based musician as well, and he's like an indie musician like myself, and he loves the 70s too. His music is very heartfelt and genuine. He plays the guitar. He loves motorcycles. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go and see him, and really looking forward to his show. I love another musician called Stevie Reed, and he's a brilliant songwriter and a great, great singer. I love listening to his music on Spotify and love seeing him live. Yeah. And I love my bandmates. They all have their projects as well. Okay. And I love listening to their music too. And most of all, I like to support independent artists. And because sometimes you just go to a show and you don't know the musicians on the bill, but you sit down and you have a beer and then you listen to their stories, you listen to their music, and it's so beautiful. And people don't know about them. So it's great sometimes to just go to a bar or a place and just listen to new music. Yeah, it's very nice.
Definitely. Right. So what does the future hold for you both in the short term and the long term?
Stardom. That is the goal. Yeah. I'm following your lead of like starting like to dream very high and then slowly falling into the reality. But yeah, no, we're working very hard and writing all the music and surrounding myself with great musicians. And I think that's a recipe for success. Yeah. And I'm very like persistent, and I keep on like approaching people with my music, and I just want to be taken seriously, and I just want to perform for millions, thousands of people all over the globe, and that's what I want to do.
You will be, definitely. Hopefully there'll be millions of people watching this.
Amen.
Might take a while to get that many numbers, but for me. Right, and that brings us to the end of the interview. Have you enjoyed it?
Very much. It's such a great chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking time to do it. I really, really appreciate it. It's fantastic to get to know you about your, the transition you made from Portugal to London and everything else that's happened. It's been really interesting.
It's great to also know that as a train driver, you are very passionate about music, and you are creating a platform to support musicians like myself. And I find that such an amazing thing. So well done to you as well. It's a pleasure to be part of this.
That's okay. Well, when I start my shift at 5:30 tonight. So I've got a long time from when I drop my kids off at nursery until I start work. So I need something to do.
Well done. Well done. You're doing something really good.
Thank you. Right. So have you got any gigs or tours, new releases that you want to tell people about?
Yes, I would love to invite everyone to listen to Her Reason Why. It's my latest single, and it's just came out last Saturday. It hasn't been a week of release yet, and I've been receiving so many nice comments and people enjoying the song. And it's a ukulele-led summer song, and it's very vibrant. And it talks about female empowerment and realizing your potential. And it's very happy and brave and colorful, and hence the flowers, and to bring that feminine energy onto the screen and onto people's ears, and really, really happy with the song.
It's a beautiful song.
Hope you enjoy it.
Right, so have you got any socials that people can reach you on, like a website, Instagram, YouTube, or anything?
Everyone can find me on loganjparker.com. That's my website. And then Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Logan J Parker. I can easily find me, and I love connecting with everyone. Send me a message and I'll write you back.
Definitely. Right.
Always.
So please like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Sounds Like Us podcast on Instagram and YouTube. And finally, to play us out, would you like to introduce your new song?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Thanks for listening. This is Her Reason Why. and it's my summer song. I hope you enjoy it.
They will. Logan J Parker, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Martin. See you soon.
Yep, see you soon.
Bye.
She's a pretty, pretty girl in a pretty, pretty world. She is. Stuff she don't understand will always be her plan to lend a hand. In all the voices she is, in all the tears she cried, she'll find herself, 'cause that's her reason why. Her reason why. Her reason why. She's just one of a kind, and when you lend her your time, she's bright. She's bright. And you can take her word and get her, just pretend not to let her inside your mind. 'Cause there's a lot to her now, but she'll smile.